Good morning, beautiful people. Today we're talking about a political boomerang that just came flying back, and it's aimed right at New York Attorney General Letitia James. The same Letitia James who made it her mission to take down President Trump with that record-breaking civil fraud case. She herself is now under federal investigation. The Department of Justice has opened a grand jury investigation into Letitia James, and it's directly connected to her Trump civil case. Let's break it all down. Welcome to Nellie Miranda. So here's a quick rundown. The DOJ, through the U.S. Attorney's Office in Albany, under Attorney General Pam Bondi, has convened a grand jury to examine whether James' actions against Trump amounted to a deprivation of civil rights. That's a serious charge. We're talking subpoenas for her records, including files from both the Trump civil fraud case and her high-profile case against the NRA. Now, if you follow Letitia James over the last few years, then you know that she built her entire brand on going after political enemies, openly bragging about it during her campaign. She secured a $355 million judgment against Trump in 2024, plus a ban on him running his businesses in New York for several years. And that wasn't her only trophy case. She also went after the NRA, accusing its leadership of financial mismanagement, and a jury agreed. But now, my oh my, have the tables turned. The DOJ's grand jury wants to know if James crossed the line, if her lawsuits were less about justice and more about political persecution. Here's a clip from Fox News breaking the story.
Even more breaking news to tell you about right now. This involving New York Attorney General Letitia James. DOJ has opened up a grand jury investigation into James over her civil fraud case against President Trump. That investigation alleges James may have violated Trump's civil rights. A spokesperson for James calls this a weaponization of the justice system and stands behind its litigation against the Trump administration. Now, James secured a $454 million judgment against then former president and some of Trump's company's executives, including two of his sons. We're going to continue to gather details on this breaking news and bring you any developments as we get them.
So, what's James saying? Or will soon be saying? This is political persecution, a political revenge tour by Trump's DOJ. Trump wants retribution, and most importantly, the allegations against me are baseless. But let's be honest, that's exactly the same kind of thing that she's been accused others of doing for years. I think this is more than political payback. This is about accountability. If a state attorney general can target political opponents, inflate charges, and then drain them financially without ever facing scrutiny, then justice is already dead and gone in America. And here's the reality. This investigation sends a warning shot. It says if you use your office to settle political scores, then there may be consequences. But not surprisingly, CNN believes this is political retribution from Trump's DOJ. Take a look at this clip.
The Justice Department is opening a criminal probe into New York Attorney General Letitia James, the latest example of the Trump administration targeting a longtime Trump political adversary. At least that's the way he views it. She certainly views it as doing her job when it comes to following the law. Now, James sued, on that note, Donald Trump and his company for fraud, a case she won. Sources tell CNN 2 grand jury subpoenas have been issued to James's office. The probe is said to be about whether James violated President Trump's rights. So this is Trump-picked U.S. attorney in New York, looking into whether James violated Donald Trump's rights. That is what is going on here. Bryn, I'm glad that you're here, so you can help explain what has actually been filed and what we really think is going on here.
Yeah, well, Dana, let's first put this out there. The fact that, the DOJ is investigating Letitia James. If you were to make a list of sort of political adversaries that Trump finds in the state of New York, Letitia James would probably be at the very top of that list. And now this is the second investigation into Letitia James by the FBI, the DOJ. And essentially this one, as we're learning from Karis Cannell's sources, is that 2 subpoenas have been issued, basically looking, as you said, Dana, into whether or not James's office violated the constitutional rights of Donald Trump, his sons, the company, before filing that civil lawsuit. So what we are learning now from James's office, we did get a statement from her attorney, Abby Lowell, who says this weaponizing, the Department of Justice to try to punish an elected official for doing her job is an attack on the rule of law and a dangerous escalation of this administration.
So basically, Letitia James going after Trump day in and day out isn't political retaliation. She's only upholding the law. But when Trump's DOJ wants to hold her accountable for both her mortgage fraud allegations and now this, it's political retribution. Again, this sounds like rules for thee and not for me, or no one is above the law except for me. So let's break it down. 1, judicial equity means no one is above the law, even Letitia James. And 2, the civil rights angle may be tough to prove, but it forces her to defend her actions under oath. And 3, this is a political earthquake because if James gets indicted, it will throw her entire Trump case into question. This almost feels like the first time in a long time that the left's own playbook is being used against them. They pioneered the politics of personal destruction, and now they're getting a taste of their own medicine.
Dr. King talked about that stone of hope, and it's that stone of hope that gives me a fire in my belly each and every morning. It's that stone of hope that allows me to wake up and to stand to Donald Trump and to say, Donald Trump, I'm not afraid of you. It's that stone of hope. It's that stone of hope that gives me power. That's that stone of hope and the belief in each and every one of you to let you know that I'm not going to allow my ancestors, all of those who died for me, to be in this position. I am not going to disgrace them and disappoint them. I am going to use the law both as a sword and as a shield and challenge Donald Trump. And each and every time he issues an illegal executive order, I am going to stand up to him because he represents to me sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity.
But here's the part that I want you to think about. If this case succeeds, will it set a precedent that makes all political prosecutions harder in the future? Or will it simply be another chapter in America's never-ending political knife fight? Either way, this is the fight of the year. A state attorney general who weaponized her office is now facing the very system that she thought she controlled. But I want to hear from you. Do you think this is legitimate oversight, or do you see it as political revenge? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. But before I let you go, I have to tell you that the owner of Trump Burger is now facing deportation by ICE for allegedly committing immigration fraud. Roland Bayani, a Lebanese immigrant, a MAGA supporter, and co-founder of the Trump Burger restaurant chain, was arrested by immigration officials back in May. The Department of Homeland Security says that he overstayed his visa and tried to secure legal residency through what they call a sham marriage. Now, here's the twist. This is a man who openly supports President Trump, whose restaurants are basically shrines to the man's brand, and yet he's being hit with the full force of Trump-era immigration policies. And honestly, that's how it should be. The law applies to everyone. The left is going to have a field day with this one. They're going to be like, you are a staunch Trump supporter. Now look at you. Take a look at this clip.
Tonight, KHOU 11 confirming the owner of Trump Burger Restaurants, which has several locations in the Houston area, has been arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement and now faces deportation. ICE says Roland Bayani, a 28-year-old from Lebanon, overstayed his visa after entering the U.S. back in 2019. He was taken into custody in May and is now out on bond as he awaits immigration proceedings. In a statement sent to KHOU 11, an ICE spokesperson told us, quote, under the current administration, ICE is committed to restore integrity to our nation's immigration system by holding all individuals accountable who illegally enter the country or overstay the terms of their admission. This is true regardless of what restaurant you own or political beliefs you may have.
According to the case file, Bayani entered the U.S. in 2019 on a tourist visa. That visa expired in February of 2024, but he stayed. Then he married a U.S. citizen, but immigration investigators say there was no real evidence of a life together. no joint lease, no shared bills, no actual cohabitation. And in fact, the spouse's own family told authorities that it was fake. Well, damn, it'd be your own family because she's technically in trouble too for this sham marriage. Anyway, his petition for residency was revoked, and now he has a hearing set for November 18th, where ICE will argue for his removal from the country. So now let's remember, Trump Burger isn't just a gimmick. It is a full-blown Texas chain with locations in Belleville, Bay City, Flatonia, and beyond. One location even changed its name to MAGA Burger during a separate dispute. But all of that branding might not save him from deportation. Here's the thing. I think we all believe in secure borders, fair immigration, and the rule of law. That means no special treatment for anyone, not for celebrities, not for politicians, and not for business owners who wrap themselves in the American flag while breaking the rules. If the allegations are true, this was an abuse of the system. And while it's awkward to see it happen to someone in our own political lane, this is exactly what consistent law enforcement looks like. Whether Roland Bayani's deportation goes through or not, one thing's for certain: political branding cannot shield you from legal consequences, and it shouldn't. So here's my question for you. Do you think that this case proves that immigration law is being applied fairly, or do you think politics will influence the outcome? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, if honest commentary brings you value, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel. And tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.